Okay, a hopefully good Sunday, and hopefully you guys have already prepared to listen to our discussion today. So magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, no? Um, I wanna know if you can see the our exam questions sa Zoom. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
alright. Yan. So, ayun, it's been a while since we met in a live fashion. Of course, the last time that we met was when I was still there with you in school. Okay. Um, I personally treat Sundays as rest days. Okay. I think for many of you, it's a time for rest also, or maybe a time for prayer. Some of you would go to your masses if you are of the Catholic faith. Ako actually ayoko talagang may ginagawa pag linggo. Pero kasi I know that I already made you suffer through 3 quizzes. That's my job, by the way. So, ganun talaga. You had already 2 quizzes of biochemistry in the last week. Yeah. Mabilis lang yung ano na nyo, every few days agad, diba? And I had to record the discussions kasi busy rin yung weekdays ko. And I thought it would be a shame that all of the tests I would give you are just with recorded discussions. Lalo na, this coming week is a week of finalizations sa schools, my workplaces in terms of grades, magfa-finalize kami kung may students ba na kailangan i-adjust, ipa-special exam, ibagsak if really necessary. Also, it's also the week where Christmas parties start to come in, baka nga sa inyo. So, yung exam ninyo sa December 18, I think you will have it on Wednesday. Hindi ko na rin madi-discuss live. So, I want you guys to think of today as the opportunity to ask questions or clarifications uh, to me, okay, and to the class, since I believe we don't really have another possible meeting that you could do this, okay? For those who do have um, shaky internet connection and who cannot attend live because of that, I will be making a recording. But for the rest of the 50 plus people here, I want you to think of attending, I don't know, should I say make a sacrifice na kahit Sunday, nagkaroon ng klase, is we could already wrap things up and cover what we need to cover, like probably connect some dots between biochem and or medicinal chem. Okay? Uh, I do remember I asked ang conversation ko with Dean was I wanna know if you guys would prefer na recording ulit yung discussion neto or if Sunday is possible because yesterday afternoon I was also out. I heard that it would be a Sunday. Okay. I hope that's really what you voted for and that's why you're here so that ano, mas magaan sa akin that you really volunteered to have this morning session. So in any case, I will start recording.
Recording in progress.
And if things go well, this will not really last a long time. But I also want to say that if you have questions related to biochem, kasi di na tayo nakapag-discuss live ng kahit anong biochem, diba? You can also ask it today. If ever may ma-encounter tayong biochemical concepts along the way, feel free to chat your questions. Okay? So, this is just a 60-item quiz. I hope you noticed I really tried to just limit our quizzes to 60 items kasi even in school, I always just have 60 to 70. I think 80 to 90 is already a lot. Like, ang dami mo na kasi pwedeng masagot or maaral or ma-review sa 70 items max. And for example, one of them is merely the definition of our subject, di ba? The branch of pharmaceutical sciences that covers the study of structure-activity relationships is literally the subject that you're having a quiz on. Med Chem, 'di ba? Of course, just to make this extra clear, the other items are related also to the field of pharmacy. Pharmaceutical sciences pa nga lahat yan, if you want the broader term. But pag sinabi kasing pharchem, I think I clarified this when we were in the classroom. Pharmaceutical chemistry is more of the analytical side already. So, yung mga chromatography, spectroscopy, analysis, basically whether it's qualitative or quantitative, that's more of fitting for the term pharchem. Whereas in medicinal chemistry, you're trying to find out new molecules. So, more of drug discovery siya. Okay? So, ayun. And I do understand that both these words are kind of interchanged in the bigger picture. So, yung ibang tao parang kino-consider yung medchem as a part of pharchem. So, pharmaceutical chemistry is the larger term that covers the existing and the new drugs. But in my opinion, those two are separate. Lalo na, again, my research when I was doing research last year was medchem. Yung PD at PK, guys, I hope you already know those general, terms. Like pharmacodynamics is all about the drug effects, 'di ba? Receptor interactions or what the drug does to the body if you want it in vague terms. And pharmacokinetics is yung ADME, the journey of the body from its entry to its the drug in the body from its entry to exit. Kaya nga what the body does to the drug. So, ayun. I'm just saying na if I remember correctly, the last board exam I heard that module 1, which is yung pharmaceutical chemistry sa board exam, doesn't really feel like module 1 alone. In fact, it's the single most complained module because by the way that I've been hearing in the comments, parang akala nila lahat na ng topics sa boards including pharmacology, even practice, even a little bit of pharmaceutics is already in module 1. So no one should underestimate the possibility that in the pharchem module, you'll be asked terms na you would expect in other modules of the board exam. I think the earlier you have that mindset, na halo-halo na lahat, wala na yan sa module talaga, the more peace of mind you'll have when you actually get there come 2025. Okay? Yeah. For the next 4 items, refer to the following choices. And I do believe I have mentioned these words in class. If not so much na verbalize ko sa microphone, I am sure they are in our slides. Like, kunwari, 2, specific functional group or moiety, just another fancy word for functional group or pattern that gives it its effect. And the answer to this one is the pharmacophore, right? Yan. So, I think my example in my PowerPoint or your PDF was yung beta-lactam na mapalitan mo na lahat ng part ng isang penicillin. That's fine. But just do not replace or change anything with the beta-lactam because, quote-unquote, the nitrogen of that thing, the carbonyl of the beta-lactam, those perform important interactions which makes it the pharmacophore. Okay? formal word for drugs in the context of binding. And this one, maybe you have been hearing of also in other subjects. I don't know, maybe. And that is the ligand, diba? Or the ligand. I actually do not know if there is any better pronunciation for ligand or ligand, but just to give you an extra context, no, kung bakit meron pang iba-ibang salita and bakit hindi na lang po drug ang word. Kapag 'di ba medchem, medicinal chemistry encompasses the journey of the drug even before it was approved by the FDA. Hindi mo pa pwedeng tawagin yung isang molecule or compound na drug if it hasn't been approved, right? Kailangan mag phase 1, 2, 3 muna siya. So I don't know kung na-cover nyo na to sa drug discovery nyo na course. Meron kayo dapat nun, no? But supposedly, dapat naririnig nyo na yung terms like hit or lead, no? So you are finding hits or finding leads na naghahanap ka ng molecule out of thousands of molecules and you're looking for the one that has the potential to go through trials like phase 1, 2, 3. You cannot call it a drug but you can call it a ligand. So way back nung unknown molecule pa yon, nung di mo alam na magiging gamot pa yon, all the way to the time na naging gamot na siya sa market, the general term for all of that is ligand. So mas encompassing, mas embracing yung term na ligand. So I hope you make sure you know that we're just referring to the compound. Okay? 4. Similar molecules taking similar space. Similar, iso, space, stereo. Nandun na yun, di ba? I'm already giving away the answer just by using the terminology. So that's an isoster. Okay? Similar activity, so bioactivity. So bio, isoster. So that is letter boy. In case you guys forgot, the classic example I always gave here was kapag ginawa mong carbachol, yung acetylcholine, there will be an improved duration of action. Yun na ang isa sa pinaka overused gas-gas, no? Pinaka luma na examples, and that means you're just replacing a functional group with something that's nearly as big as it, hoping that you'll improve something in that compound. Okay? Oh, di wala ka ng ibang option for 5 kundi target. But what again is a target? Target molecules whose activity can be altered by drugs. Ito yung word that we all actually, come on guys. Nandun no, target molecules. Di ang tawag doon ay target. Okay, giveaway na yan. Ang context naman dito is, I believe for most pharma people, pharma students, you got used to calling these target molecules 9 out of 10 times receptor. Pero kasi if we discussed pharmacology in a deeper way, we will not do that this morning. Hindi naman porket target ng gamot na inaaral mo sa PICOL, you already call it a receptor. Ang receptor, meron pang mga messengers yan downstream that will, para siyang domino effect. But sometimes, there are other targets that don't have secondary messengers. Kunwari, if you have a potassium channel or a sodium channel, once that channel opens, then the action is nearly done. And a channel and the receptor are not actually the same. Or kunwari, you want to block COMT, or you want to block MAO, or you want to block HMG-CoA reductase. Enzymes are not the same as receptors because wala namang messengers ang enzymes. So, again, we're not going to go very technical today, but just know that the word receptor is actually a specific word na. If you want the general term for everything that our drugs are acting on, the embracing or the encompassing term for all of those is target. Okay? Pero I know in most other subjects, you'll probably stick with the word receptor. So, ano lang yun? Just to make it clear, no? Or to make it accurate, lore accurate. Okay? And of course, guys, as I told you in our class sa MedChem, Knowing structure activity relationships means, syempre, una sa lahat, knowing structures. Knowing how functional groups or rings are called or even described. Kunwari, dito, I wasn't even asking for the name. I already gave you the name thiazole. Although, guys, ito yung isa kong reminder sa inyo. I have totally the option, di ba? Parang this already serves as a warning or parang ano nga I'm already hinting you that I can totally ask you this on your exam sa Wednesday. I could instead just ask, what's the name of this? And it should be thiazole, right? Thi kasi may sulfur. Yeah. Az kasi merong nitrogen, aza. And ole means it has 5 atoms, right? But I'm just asking, what's the proper adjective? So, the answer would be, oh, by the way, guys, in case meron sa inyong inaantok pa, you can totally have the option to chat privately or to everyone yung letter ng sagot nyo if you're very confident, no? Okay? Pampagising din yan minsan. So, itong 6. What would the answer be? It would be letter C, di ba? It's called it's described heteromonocyclic kasi hetero means you have non-carbon atoms, different, hetero, naiiba, which are sulfur and nitrogen. And then monocyclic kasi isang ring lang siya. It's just a pentagon. If it was bicyclic, 2 rings, pag tricyclic, and so on and so forth. Diba? So, kunwari, itong quinoline, 2 ring, tapos, meron kang isang heteroatom. So, the proper word for that class would be hetero bicyclic. So, letter dog. Okay? Now, after knowing how to describe them, of course, again, you need to know how to call these things. So, itong 8, though you can call it something like aminobenzene, right? Kasi that's just what you see there. It has a name of its own, diba? The trivial name of this is aniline. Okay? But I do see some significant words here. Sige nga. Which of them? Isa dito actually ay yung special name if merong 2 benzene. If you have 2 benzene rings fused together, okay, with 2 carbons. Like this. Sino siya? Or what's the name of this guy? Eto si? Alright, I already got 3 people PMing me. And all of you are correct. Okay. O, yung iba gusto mag-try pa? Wala na, sige, okay na yan. O, may isa pa, yeah. O, so 4 people are now right. We got naphthalene. Pag inad ko pa ng isa, diba, if you have another ring, it's now tricyclic. That's actually, wala siya sa choices. But the name of this one would be something like anthracene. Yung phenanthrene, it's close. Yun nga lang, the 3 rings are not laid out flat. The 3rd ring, kapag phenanthrene, is going to be somewhat raised on top. Okay? Yung silene is, meron ka dapat benzene. I have no space to write anymore, so I just wanted to imagine it na lang. I think it's in our notes, no? Correct me if I'm wrong. Silene is 2 methyl, right? Anywhere. It can be ortho, meta, or parasilene. Tas yung toluene is just isang methyl group, diba? So just benzene, then isang CH3, you're done. That's already toluene. You know, guys, here's a little bit of a bonus now that you are here live. Diba, if you go back to biochem, tinanong ko pa nga ata to sa isang quiz. I asked there, which has the CPPP ring structure? And we know already, the answer there should be a steroid. I am not forcing you to remember this. I don't think this will help you very much. Pero diba, the meaning of CPPP is cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene. And we are talking about this phenanthrene. Kasi actually, when you say perhydrophenanthrene, that means you remove all of the double bonds. Tas 'di ba CP here means cyclopentane. So cyclopentane is like a pentagon, and therefore do you see that we now actually have the CPPP? That recorded naman to, no? So i-undo ko lahat ng ginawa ko. That means that the phenanthrene in the CPPP is literally the phenanthrene that you are seeing here right now. Okay? So wala lang, share ko lang. And I think the main point of me doing all of that is just for you to remember na ang steroid structure yung CPPP again is very popular. Okay? So please do not take that for granted. Hindi siya lumabas ngayong boards, I will be honest. I think structures don't really come out a lot in the actual boards, but the concepts or the words underlying them are equally important. So parang dapat kaya nyo i-imagine yon even if the board exam will just use words instead of pictures. Anyway, 9, I don't want to expound too much already here because it's straight up. Firan. Although, just for formality's sake, I'm going to draw all of these, which I believe nasa notes naman natin. Pyrazine is ganyan, 6-6 with 2 nitrogens opposite. Oxazole, ox meaning may oxygen, az meaning may nitrogen. And usually our oxazole has a carbon in between O and N. Kaya in the internet, if you try to find that, they even go as far as saying 1,3 oxazole kasi yung oxygen at nitrogen ay in positions 1 and 3. But most of the time, hindi nyo na makikita yung 1,3 kasi parang yan na yung nakasanayan. When you say oxazole, you don't have to tell us already. Parang ganun yung message nila. We already know that's 1,3. Okay? Next, ang quinoline at isoquinoline. Again, guys, be very careful because it's just about the placement of nitrogen. Si quinoline has the nitrogen close to the center, right? Pero ang isoquinoline, it has the nitrogen farther, 'di ba, to the center. Okay? Kaya actually, I realized here, you are looking at quinoline. Kasi malapit yung nitrogen, it's close, right? So, siguro, if there's one thing I want you to be careful with is also isoquinoline and quinoline itself. Okay? Next, 10. This means having at least a carbon-carbon double bond that's unsaturated. Ito definitely I'm not supposed to expound on anymore. This is one of the most basic questions of this test, if not the most basic. Okay? Saturated, puro single bond, right? 11, the arrangement of double bonds in benzene. Double, single, double, single, double, single. Kapag alternating, the word for that is conjugated. And though I think we did not do like a long time or have a long time practicing this, 'di ba? Parang meron ako sinabi sa start ng klase natin dito. I told you that you should already know these common adjectives for organic compounds because that's an expectation from you when you already studied your organic chemistry, like the basic organic, not yet the medicinal one, right? So, ayan. Actually, I would say, kung tayo sana yung nag-org chem, pero dapat kahit hindi ako, you should already remember that being conjugated means that a compound can exhibit an effect called resonance, right? So, I'll leave that for you to figure out on your own or review on your own kasi nga, org chem is a different thing in the context of your review. This one, if I have 3 nitrogens, then that is our guanidine, right? Letter dog. And remember, ito naman, the context of this number 12 is, I wrote them on the whiteboard, right? So, you should have them in your notes, not in the slides, but if you really are there in the class, you would have copied it from the whiteboard. Tapos yung carbamate is ganyan, 'di ba? So, dalawang oxygen. Tas yung urea is dalawang nitrogen naman. And I told you this. I remember I said this specifically back then that you have to be careful not to interchange carbamate, urea, and guanidine. Kasi they are all different, unique things. As you can see, ang lalayo, diba? The words, the spelling themselves are very different, but they look similar. And that's dangerous considering that those three functional groups are present multiple times across different drug classes. And class, come on, don't get us started with sulfonamide. Alam nyo naman dapat that the sulfonamide, SO2NH2, is popular especially as a class of antibiotics, right? Pwede ko na nga kayo tanungin ngayon what is the mechanism of action or anong target ng sulfonamide? But I won't ask you or demand from you the answer right now because I think may isang tanong mamaya about that. Okay? So let's reserve that for later. 13. Weak acid in low pH. I remember we also had a short discussion at the start of that day. I don't know, first hour of class, I think, that pH and pKa will alter the ionization. Thus, the ionization will alter the pharmacokinetics, diba? And then I started writing on the left side of the whiteboard, Luna and Hype in red and blue colors, if I remember correctly. You should agree, di ba? If nandun ka sa class mo, you should be like, yeah, dun sinulat. Dun siya nakalagay, right? And, though, di na tayo nag-computations, I always have this shortcut in mind. If same siya, kunwari, acid-acid, acid in acid, or base in base, then it will be unionized, di ba? Pag unionized, then papasok na doon ang Lu na. Okay, ang tinatanong lang naman dito is, ito ba? So, low pH, sige nga class, kunwari, ang pH natin ay 2.5 or 3.1, 1.3. Is that acidic or basic, class? Such low values should definitely be acidic. So parang sinabi natin, class, that we have an acid and acid. What does that mean? We are unionized. And therefore, class, Luna, if I have a weak acid in... do you remember, you know what, guys? I think I should get the PDF of... Ay, hindi kasi PDF rin to. Pero, ano tawag dito? Diba, I have that picture na yung aspirin is nasa stomach or intestine. And then you saw that when the aspirin was in the stomach, it would be, you know what? Wait lang. I'll stop share first. Tapos, I'll open the PowerPoint na rin lang. Para lang, I might need that also for later. Teka lang. Sana mahanap ko siya. Dapat mahanap ko siya. Ayan. Share screen lang ulit. Tapos, yawn. Okay. So, di ba? We have here an acidic drug, and then you will see na it's more unionized kasi we are in an acidic. So, ito yung context ng tanong. When I asked this question in your quiz, on my head, I was thinking of this picture from our slides. that if I have a weak acid in a low pH like the stomach, it will be more of the or non-ionized form, which is the one that is absorbed. Okay? So, ayun. So, I think from now on, I could just discuss ng ganito para makuha ko yung slides when I need it. Okay. And 14, that which is polar is hype, di ba? Or hype. So, kung sino ang polar is hydrophilic, ionized, excretable. So, it's not absorbed kasi nga it's excretable. And class, polar or ionized, ano ba ibig sabihin? It has a charge, di ba? Tapos, the H here means hydrophilic. Class, I would say, I could totally make this word hydrophobic, tas mali na yan, diba? So again, be careful there also with those words, ha? Hydrophilic and hydrophobic are total opposites. Nagkataon lang, it just so happened that I chose the more popular word of the two here, which is hydrophilic, which is the H in hype. So, that would be B and C. Kung ito naging hydrophobic, 'di ba? Di B lang yung answer, but again, my point is be careful no with interpreting those words. 15. The presence of purely carbon chains. O class, sige nga. Pag puro carbon, would that be polar or non-polar? So, kunwari guys, di ba biochem natin, fatty acid, come on. Carbon. Eh, alam naman natin ano ba yung lipids, di ba? Lipids hate water because yes, that's right. Okay, Team PM. Okay, o yun, biglang dumami. I got what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people saying NP or non-polar. Okay, good. So, therefore, we know na Luna, if it is non-polar, it will be easy to absorb. So, letter boy. Ito, ano rin to, it's just a test of carefulness or carelessness, ha? Although, kung nasagot nyo naman yung biochem ko, I like I like making those questions to really remind you that carefulness is important, diba? Baka mamaya sinagot mo letter C, but you did not read that it's easy to excrete, which makes it wrong. So again, sometimes being careful is a very crucial part of the testmanship formula. Minsan nga guys, I would say, even 2024, I've been making tests for nearly a decade myself as a teacher. Sometimes when I answer my own questions, mali ako. Because even I become a victim of being careless. So, just be careful guys. Okay? 16. Kaya nga minsan sa review center or I don't know, maybe when I answer my own questions in school, I laugh when students point out to me that I am wrong in my own question, in answering my own question. Kaya, lalo na kayo, diba? Lalo na kayo. Be very, careful. And that's where double or triple checking comes in handy. 16, which is more polar. And it's again a game of spot the difference. Class, an OH has a negative charge on the oxygen and the positive charge on the H, which actually makes it capable of hydrogen bonding. Pero ito, the CH3, remember, you have a carbon there, negates the charge, and therefore, the only charge it has is the one on oxygen. So, naglaban dito, one partial charge versus two partial charges. Therefore, the one with more partial charges is the one that is more polar. So the answer here gotta be the reactant, letter A. Okay? Ayan. Tas class, sige nga, dahil nandito kayo, I do not want to waste the opportunity. Sige nga, what if the question here was, what is the name of the reaction that has happened? Practice, actually nasa practice natin to right? You added the methyl, so the answer for that would be methylation. Tas guys, pwede ko na, siguro I have now the right to give you the context of the structure, no? So what happened? What would be the name of the product? if you know that the reactant, nakita nyo na to dapat sa isang slide natin, is morphine, then if you methylate it, sure, you can call this methylmorphine, but you, as a student na nakapagpikog na alam na yung clinical context, you should know that methylmorphine also comes as the more popular name, codeine. Okay. And class, ito yung mga structure which I think is kind of scary if it does come in the board exam. Although again, kokontrahin ko yung sarili ko by saying na hindi naman kasi sila mahilig maglabas na actual pictures sa boards, but yeah, morphine and codeine is kind of terrifying if it comes out as a structure in the exam. Kasi, 'di ba, hindi mo lang ma-realize na may methyl doon. Hindi mo na alam na hindi na pala morphine yun. So, ayun. But that's a warning. Worst case scenario lang naman yun. I think overthinking na tayo at this point, but I think it's not a bad thing. Alam nyo, ang na-realize ko as a lecturer, I think both in in-house and review centers is, it's better to make exams that are more difficult than reality. At least when students encounter board questions that it's not something that we taught, hindi naman kasi namin mahuhulaan lalabas sa boards, diba? For sure, still a good amount of questions in your board exam are questions na never nyo narinig exactly the way that they are asked. Pero at least ready kayo mag-interpret. The logic is there. And testmanship is really important. Okay? Kaya yung mga nagsistart na mag-aral or mag-feast, no, magpiesta sa mga pack-up questionnaires, ganun. Yeah, I think that's a nice thing to start with, but you should supplement it with studying notes talaga. 17. The tendency of glucuronidation is to make the molecule more, well, it's not an exception, 'di ba? Kasi yung mga exception lang naman sa metabolism ay methylation at acetylation. So except those, everything like this one will make a compound more hype, 'di ba? More polar. And therefore, if it is more polar, it is more water soluble. So the answer is two of the choices. Okay. Actually, itong 17, kahit di ka nga sure kung ano yung two of the choices, pero sinade mo letter D, tama ka pa rin. Right? So, ayun. I think the board exams can still ask questions like this or ganyan yung format. Although, in my personal opinion as an educator, this is actually a bad question construction. Alam niyo ba yan? Do you know that in some guidelines for test making sa health sciences, none of the above or all of the above is a very bad, like it's a horrible way to ask a question daw. Ngayon, baka tanongin niyo ako, alam niyo naman po pala yun, bakit kayo nagtatanong ng all of the above or none of the above sa class? I am trying to imitate the actual board exam, even their bad question making. So, yun, just to make it clear, even in your exam on Wednesday, I can still throw questions na may none of the above because that's how the real board exams in the last how many years is asked. What process converts propanone to isopropyl? Ito, you need to have a little bit of imagination already. Class, paano yan? Di ba I just told you earlier that sometimes medchem questions in the boards are like this. Walang structure. Bahala ka mag-imagine. And that's sometimes, I guess, why organic naming, nomenclature, is crucial. Because otherwise, you won't be able to imagine propanone is this one. And then isopropyl alcohol is this one. And class, di ba, if I have a double bond to a single bond oxygen, that counts as reduction. So that would be letter dog. Sa class, pwede pa nga to. Ewan ko if you made this explicit in your org-chem, no? But 'di ba, if you have a ketone and knowing that this is a secondary alcohol, that is also reduction. Okay? And I did notice, okay, that I skipped 18. So, true or false lang naman. It is mandatory to perform resolution of chiral if, bakit pa, right? So, why separate two things if they do the same thing? So, false. Class, I wrote on the whiteboard the words eutomer and distomer. Like, U is like the good isomer. And this, di ba? Disarrange, disorder. Distomer is the bad isomer. Eh kung yung bad isomer is just almost the same as the good one, don't separate it anymore. And I told you, right, that many of the things in the market are racemic. Na yung eutomer, distomer, the RNS, the DRL are combined because they do the same thing. You will only do separate only if the distomer is really risky. Na kunwari, nakakamatay siya, it can really cause teratogenicity like yung thalidomide. If it can cause cancer, if it can, I don't know, cause SJS. But if the distomer is not very bad, then why resolve, right? Only resolve if it's really big of a difference. Back to 20, the enzyme monoamine oxidase, class, oxidase. Remember, oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis are the three reactions in phase 1. Phase 1. So, letter A. And class, ano na yun? Other way around na yun. Ibig sabihin, if it's not redox, if it's not reduction, if it's not oxidation, if it's not hydrolysis, then automatic phase 2 na. Kunwari, methylation is phase 2. Pero, going to 22, this is something that I want to test people who overthink, no? Ang magkukunwari ako, no? I'll pretend I'm some of you answering this. I hope I'll be able to act like some of you, no? Ay, epoxidation. Ano kaya to? Is this the same as oxidation? Hala, di ko na alam. Hindi siya oxidation, di ba? Sasagot ko na lang, phase 2 siya. Ito true ko siya. Yan. Maybe ganun sumagot yung iba sa inyo. But actually, the reality there is that epoxidation, yung double bond tapos maging epoxide, look at that. Eh di ba ang definition pa rin natin here is that you added an oxygen, there wasn't an oxygen before, there was an oxygen already after. Addition of oxygen is still counted as oxidation. Nandun naman sa pangalan. And therefore, epoxidation is still under phase 1. So this is a false statement. Okay? So yun, siguro if you were thinking twice, kunwari nagdadalawang isip ka sa 22, it's probably because you are not sure what epoxidation means. You probably, or I don't know, di mo ba familiar what an epoxide means, but yeah. Siguro if you encounter that word next time, it is counted as an oxidation reaction. It's just a specific type or a special type of epoxidation. May isa pang example, kunwari yung word na hydroxylation, 'di ba? Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? It just means you are adding an OH. Eh di ba may oxygen yung OH, so hydroxylation is also under phase 1. Okay? So, sometimes you have to know that some words are just specific words, but it's still counted as oxidation. When a nitro group is reduced, the product is an amine. Dito kailangan alam nyo na yung meaning ng words na to. Because nitro group, nitro is NO2, tapos amine, of course, is NH2. And what happened before and after? Nawala yung oxygen, right? Tapos naging hydrogen. And whether you think of it as one or another definition, remove O or add H. I wrote that on the whiteboard, diba? On the left side corner of the board. That is counted as reduction. Meaning that this is a true statement. Okay? 24, the cofactor for methylation. We're not gonna spend a lot of time here. Nakatabulate ito, class. Gusto ko lang manigurado, so I'm gonna check it out if I did tabulate it. 'Diba? Nakatabulate. Okay? So methylation, our cofactor is SAM, S-adenosyl methionine. And now that this table is here, I would like to remind you of the other cofactors, right? UDPGA for glucuronidation, glycine for glycine conjugation. Come on, okay? Glutathione for glutathione conjugation, PAPS for sulfation, and acetyl-CoA for acetylation. Okay? 25. Lupus-like syndrome is associated with hydralazine. This one, actually, I'm thinking tuloy if I mention the mnemonic, no? Pero, ayan. I don't know if I wrote this in my notes. Di ko na mahanap yung slide na may sulat ako. But here, a little context. For me, my I don't know. My expectation here is that this mnemonic is oftentimes mentioned in schools. But in your case, just to be very sure, I would like to either introduce, I don't know, or remind everyone of HIPS, the mnemonic which stands for hydralazine, isoniazid, procainamide, and sulfonamides. And a lot of them can cause lupus-like because of a problem with their processing, which is actually acetylation. So remember class, no? Not a lot of drugs are actually acetylated. Maraming gamot, hindi acetylation yung pathway talaga nila. But for these four, they are the popular ones. Acetylation sila. Okay? In fact, in pharmacology textbooks, ang context niyan is that in the world of pharmacogenomics, there are people na tinatawag na fast acetylators and slow acetylators. And I will not elaborate on that kasi I think we are going too far from pharchem if I do that. Okay? So, bahala kayo i-figure yon. Dapat nasa PICOL notes or lectures niya. 26. Which are possible modifications to the acetylcholine. Oh, by the way, once you hit 26, you should already have this feeling na, we are now done with the introductory questions. We are now going to the actual drugs. So, 26, which are possible modifications to acetylcholine, which I think nandito naman sa slide na to, diba? Okay? Yan. So either you can methylate it, diba? You can methylate it. That will give you, addition of beta methyl, or substitution with carbamate. Hindi nakalagay dito kung ano, pero diba I told you that there is carbachol, so that's also correct. So that's either A or B. Okay? 27. Class, kita nyo ba how this structure is very similar to the structure of acetylcholine? And what are things that look like acetylcholine? They are direct cholinergic agonists. So, cholinergic agonist is the... Di nga kayo tinatanong dito kung direct or indirect, di ba? You're just being asked if it's an agonist and of what. Okay? So, again, I told you that to me, when I see... I hope you remember this. I'm sure I said this in class. N plus, that's like a light bulb to me. Mukha siyang bombilya, which is funny kasi may bombilyang, ito yung light ko ngayon, right? So when I see something shining like that, that's cholinergic already to my eyes. Okay? So yan. Pero ito class, I see here, if your eyes are sharp, diba that's the point of our lecture for most of the day. Matalim ba mata mo? Okay? Do you observe properly? This is a carbamate. And, guys, carbamates are, diba, indirect acting agonists. Di nga na naman tayo tinatanong kung direct or indirect. So that means that whether you are looking at something like choline, a choline analog, or something like a stigmine, di ba, yung mga carbamates natin, yung mga stigmine, that's still the same thing. It's a cholinergic agonist. Class, pinagbibigyan pa kayo dito. Structure lang yung nakalabas, but we're not even being specific here. It could be made harder, like me asking you, what is this? Is this a direct or indirect agonist? Pwede pa nga sabihin, among the indirect, what is a carbamate? Is it short, intermediate, or long? You have to realize, guys, that we're not even putting the extra layers of difficulty. Pang baby pa tong mga tanong na to. Siguro humirap siya kasi structure if you're not fond of remembering structures. But siguro kung binato ko yung word, physostigmine, di ba? It should be easy. It's an agonist. It could be harder, remember that. It could be way more specific. Okay? I don't know what horrors if talagang tinrain kayo. Pinahirapan, I hope in a good way, in your pikol nung second or third year kayo. But if that actually was your experience, then it should help you along the way here, no? Kunwari ito, ooh, look at that. That's a tropane. Class, anong gamit nyo? I don't know if you were using birds or unicorn. Ako unicorn pa rin pag tropane. But class, tropanes are definitely, okay, nangyari, anti-cholinergics, diba? Or anti-muscarinics, or antagonists. So, letter dog. Okay? 30. Pancuronium is an isoquinoline type. Ito naman, ang context is this one, diba? That the suffix is dependent on the structure. So, it's an isoquinoline kapag curium, but class, it's not curium, curonium. Pag curonium ka, it is a steroid. So, it should be a steroid type. The statement is false. Class, to have a little water break, once we finish yung adrenergic or yung ANS, we can have 3 minutes. 3 minutes lang. Wag na natin masyadong patagalin so we could have early dismissal na. Yan. Cholinergic pa rin tong 31, so let's just continue muna, no? 31, which of the following is an organophosphate? Dito naman, class, in 31, my message here is, even if you're not sure, we have the power of letters, diba? Or syllables, prefixes, suffixes. Fate, diba? Phosphate. Edi, maybe something like ecothiophyte. Phosphate. So that would be letter dog. Remember, class, how I blabbered? Parang nagkwento ako ng matagal-tagal, diba? How I became interested in this subject where dati, pinapamemorize kami ng pangalan ng drugs and I don't even know if that's like a magic spell or if that's the name of a Pokemon. Okay? And then I realized slowly na, ay, kaya pala clonidine kasi guanidine, di ba? Or nafazoline kasi imidazoline. So, the spelling class can help you kapag ganito lang kadali yung tanong. Okay? O pag zosine, yan yung mga quinazoline, right? Or stigmine, or carbamates, curium, isoquinoline na blocker, just like here. So, ayun. 32. The enzyme which converts norepi to epi, eto may context din akong gustong i-bring back dito. The reason why I ask this question is, I want to ask you right now in this class, if I have a word, I copy-paste that, and I add the word nor. What does the nor imply? What change was there or difference do we have in the structure? Okay, di ba ang ibig sabihin ng nor as a prefix is there was no or lack or missing ang kanyang R group. So, no CH3. Okay? And if you want to convert something na walang methyl into something with a methyl, then you got to add a methyl group. Therefore, find an enzyme that adds a methyl group, a methyl transferase. Kaya, class, let me get this clear. Feeling nyo ba nung 32 I was making you suffer and like telling you, pakahirap kayo dyan by asking this? No. I'm actually testing if kaya nyong, imbis na i-memorize to, tandaan yung sinabi ko that sometimes the name of the enzyme is what matters. I'm not asking you, class, to memorize phenyl, ethanolamine, and methyltransferase. That's 13 freaking syllables. Kala nyo ba di rin ako nahirapan i-memorize yan? But it's the methyltransferase that gives it away only if you knew the context of the words. Yun yung point natin, di ba? When we were, kahit sa biochem, you don't need to memorize the entire name of the enzyme. Of course, everyone will have a hard time. But if you know the context, it will make it easier. Okay? Decarboxylase, remove COOH. Hydroxylase, add OH, stuff like that. Anyway, let's move to the next question. 33. Alpha-2 agonists are only approved for hypertension and work by decreasing sympathetic tone induced. Wow, di ba parang medyo pharmacology? Actually, I think sakto lang na naglagay ako ng mga tanong na ganito because I really heard that students in the board exams felt like a lot of the Module 1 questions are pharmacology questions, Module 4. And then I tell them, siguro sa mga na-handle ko ng medchem, ba't kayo nagulat? Didn't I tell you to anticipate that? Knowing that drug action, yung receptor, yung pag-target, pagpunta ng gamot sa binding site niya, that's pharmacology to you. Pero that's pharchem, that's medchem. So there will always be pharmacology concepts, lalo na pharmacodynamic concepts sa Module 1. It will be a disappointment. Talagang masyashock ka, madidisappoint ka, and you will feel it's difficult. If you don't expect that, you should expect that. So kayo guys, next year, wag niyong i-expect na porket Module 1, it's pure chem. There will be other questions. I just don't know if talagang matutuloy yung, I heard yung board natin, baka talagang may bago ng board members next year. But even if that happens, we don't know how they will ask questions. So just expect the worst all the time. I don't know. Anyway, not an alpha-2 agonist. Ang mga nidine ay alpha-2 agonist. Yung guanfacine alpha-2. Phenylephrine is not kasi alpha-1 yan. Okay? Next, 34. The addition of 4OH, may SAR naman tayo dito, di ba? So, 3OH alpha, 4OH beta. So that means it's a beta selective agonist. Beta selective agonist. Plus, yan yung mga beta-1 agonist like isoproterenol, right? Dobutamine. Or beta-2 like terbutaline, salbutamol, or albuterol na pala yung pangalan. Tas class, just like what I told you in the cholinergic, binibaby pa kayo dito. I could even make it harder. I can not just ask you kung beta agonist, I can ask you, beta 1 ba or 2? Tas, if you know your asthma drugs, kung nakapag-discuss kayo ng respiratory conditions in, ClinFar, GINA guidelines, are you familiar with that? Meron pa nga yun, di ba? Short-acting beta agonist and long-acting beta 2 agonist, Sabat, Laba. Wala nga ganun dito. I am simply asking you, what do we have kapag may 4OH? It's just a beta agonist. A general question. Of course, again, made difficult by the technicality of the SAR, but the message behind that is just a general answer. O kunwari, pag alpha selective agonist, di yun yung mga alpha 1, yung zoline, or alpha 2 yung mga guanidine. Alpha blocker is yung mga zosine. Beta blocker, come on, mga olol, right? Like propranolol. Tas you can even go for na, is it a non-selective na beta blocker or beta 1 or cardioselective? Marami pang deeper details, right? You have to realize that. Okay? Benzo, CNS na yan. So, pwede na muna hanggang dito. So, if you have questions, maybe you can start asking them now. But it's 10:17. Water break, eye break lang, pahinga muna yung mata. And then, let's continue discussing the remaining items by 10:20. Okay? I'll just be back once game na ulit.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Alright. Let's continue the rest of the items. I think matagal lang ako nung intro kasi nga I just gave out general reminders, no, and I don't know, tips. Pero once we go to the next items, I hope we are going to just go straight to the point. Halo-halo na kasing drugs to. So it's either you know it or you don't. Or, and if you don't, then probably you will know more about it or refresh yourselves about it when you now review your pharmacology, right? So let's go to 35. Which of the following is long-acting benzodiazepine? This one, diba, is terrifying in the sense that there's no, like if there was a structure sana, diba? Kasi ang benzodiazepine is uh, benzo tapos diazepine. Actually, 1 for benzodiazepine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yan. So, it's either meron siyang OH sa 3, right? Or there is a fourth ring on top or an extra ring on top, something like that. So maganda sana yon. But unfortunately, we don't have a picture, we have words. That's where mnemonics come in. And I think I used the atom mnemonic, atom L, latom. But there's no D there. So definitely diazepam is a long-acting benzodiazepine. Lorazepam, triazolam, midazolam are all short-acting based on the mnemonics I gave or based on their structure if only the structure was provided. Okay? Actually, maganda nun, di ba? Parang you wanna practice, try searching for the structures on your textbooks or on the internet. Then, for sure, you will see what makes these three short-acting. Okay? 36. This is likely the structure of, ito, test pa to, di ba? We already know, dapat, that the basis of the local anesthetic is yung number of eyes. So, pag one eye, that is just an ester. Kapag two eye, that is an amide. And classic, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I should already give you the clue in the choices na, come on, cocaine, one eye. Tetracaine, one eye. Procaine, one eye. You know, kahit wala nga yung picture eh. Do you realize that? You don't even need the picture. Na-add one out. Itong B, C, and D, they have three eyes. These three have one eye. And ropivacaine has two eyes. And therefore, even without the picture, you know that this is the odd one out kasi isa siyang amide. But class, of course, we can take it one step further. If I show you the structure, you will know naman that it is indeed dalawang eye, it is, kita niyo yun? CONH2, an amide. There should be consistency, di ba? Nagmamatch yung picture, nagmamatch yung structure, at yung word natin. Okay? 37. The presence of 3-OH in the benzodiazepine increases its duration. What did I tell you earlier? That if there was, sorry, nabura ko kanina, but, di ba, I drew it earlier here. If there is an OH there, it would be short-acting. So, ibig sabihin, if you have the 3-OH, it's short-acting, its duration is short. Maliit. So, if there is no 3-OH, then that means tataas ang duration, like diazepam. If you try to search for the structure of diazepam, there's no 3-OH there. Therefore, to say that 3-OH presence increases is wrong, di ba? Dapat pag may 3-OH, there should be a shorter duration of action. Okay? Next. For the next 4 items. And class, I hope you realize that I put the big names, the big structures here, right? I put a 676. Come on, that's a TCA. Or I put a 666, right? 666. Tapos, may sulfur. Eh di ito ng phenothiazine natin. Tapos, ito class, look at that. Dinrawing ko siya kanina. I have here a benzodiazepine. Short-acting pa nga eh. Because I have a fourth ring on top. So I have a BZD here. Tas class, itong C, I have here my uride. Yung parang, di ba, I don't know if I enacted it in the class, di ba? Pero if I have some guy, para siyang character sa One Piece, ang laki ng katawan niya. Tapos nakaganon siya, 'di ba? Two arms going up. That's a uride, which is normally an anticonvulsant. And as far as I know, the only popular uride with two phenyl groups is phenytoin. Tas ito, I'm not really sure exactly what this guy is, itong letter E, but I can clearly see that it has a benzene, a nitrogen, and an amide. That's definitely an amide na cane. Probably like lidocaine, I guess, diba? So 38. Thioridazine is a popular classical antipsychotic. And class, what antipsychotic do we have here? A phenothiazine. So letter A. Sa class, minsan 'di ba, I told you that if now you do have the structure on the question, there are parts of the structure that you can use to increase your confidence. Thioridazine, really? E di thio meaning merong sulfur. Di ba? It matches. Okay? So 38 is letter A. 39, amitriptyline is an antidepressant, a tricyclic antidepressant. So this one is the structure of amitriptyline, letter dog. Triazolam. Oh, sabi, what did I tell you guys? I have a short-acting benzodiazepine. So triazolam is letter boy. Okay? Yan. Tapos pwede mo nga i-justify, bakit po triazolam? Kasi guys, come on, look at this. Tatlong nitrogen, triaza, di ba? Kaya ito yung triazole in the triazolam. Di ba? I mean, sabi nga sa inyo, you don't need to do that. You are not being demanded, supposedly, sa medicinal chem na bawat zolam or bawat zepam or bawat cane or bawat diba, TCA, memorize nyo separately, but if you can, diba, add some clues or pang-increase ng confidence, that's better. Oh, and 41, mepivacaine is a local anesthetic. So, as I told you, it's a cane. Akala ko nga lidocaine siya pero mepivacaine pala. Okay. Bakit mepi? Plus, kaya kong hulaan, no? I've never actually looked at mepivacaine in the, I've seen these structures for more than a decade. But now I just realized, kaya siya mepivacaine. I think mepi is methyl piperidine. So, mepi tapos vacaine. Again, no one really cares. Okay? Hindi ko nga memorize na mepivacaine siya, pero if the structure is there, I can totally try to find a reason why. So that's letter E. So anong hindi nasagot dito? Yung phenytoin, 'di ba? So dapat itong C, something like it's a classic anticonvulsant for this kind of seizure, ganun-ganon, 'di ba? Or pwede nga sabihin, the problem with this anticonvulsant is that it can cause gingival hyperplasia or kung ano mang inaral niya sa phenytoin, right? Or it's something like a zero order kinetics drug. I don't know, di ko na maalala guys kasi ang tagal ko nang inaral yung mga yan, but really, diba? It's really a little bit of pharmacology, just trying to identify these drugs. 42. Which of the following antiarrhythmics can cause a potential threat? Class, put this under the questions under the category syllables mean something, diba? Or spelling means something. Earlier, I told you that yung organophosphate, you just find the fate, like ecothiopate, isoflurofate. O edi dito, iodine, diba? Edi find something that resembles the presence of iodine, like amiodarone. Hindi ko nga alam kung nilagay ko yung structure niya eh. I don't think I did. Did I? I think, yeah, I did not put the structure of antiarrhythmics, right? Which is sad because I think dapat responsibility ko ilagay yun. So that's my bad. Pero try to search for amiodarone. I will try to do that on my other computer. Amiodarone structure. I think dalawa iodine niya o isa, dalawa nga. So if you try to Google or to find on the text on your textbooks the structure of amiodarine, it has a diiodobenzene part. Meron siyang benzene na may dalawang I. In class, our body's iodine automatically goes to our thyroid. Ganon kaselan, ganon kaarte, ganon ka, I don't know, hungry, gutom, ang thyroid gland natin sa iodine. And amiodarone exactly does that. Kaya nga ang context nung nagbabasa ako ng Katzung, no? A modified version of amiodarone na walang iodine, so it cannot cause any more thyroid problems, is something called dronedarone. Which I've seen amiodarone in the Philippines. Essential medication ay ata yan. I've never seen dronedarone but I've read it in the book, so wala lang. Like, I know, wala siyang iodine, so wala siyang thyroid effects. That's the only advantage it has. Alam niyo naman sa board exam, di ba, or sa mga review questions, wala tayong pakialam kung nasa market sa Pilipinas yung gamot or not, kung phased out na yun or not. If it was in the textbook, they can ask that. And I know it sucks. I hate that too. Wala eh. We're trying to simulate, again, the board exam setting. Okay? So, just to mention that. Yung sotalol, it's a beta blocker under antiarrhythmics. Procainamide is under class 1. May mnemonic na tinuturo pa eh. Yung 1A, 1B, 1C. I think I won't be sharing that. Okay? I'll leave that to your pharmacology for a little bit of a thrill. Okay? Tas verapamil is one of the 2 calcium channel blockers na, di ba nasabi ko sa inyo, if you want an antiarrhythmic na calcium channel blocker, it should be a non-DHP. Kasi as you should know, if it is a DPIN or a DHP, it has no cardiac effect. 43, which hormone produces prostaglandins? COX. Diba? Not only prostaglandins, it can also produce thromboxanes. Tapos, ang natitira na lang, the only icosanoid that is reserved for LOX is the letter L. LOX will create the leukotrienes. I wanna believe, class, lahat naman tayo, yun lang yung way para ma-remember yun, diba? The letter L. LOX, leukotriene, asthma, and whatnot. 44, actually, I would say, parang naligaw to na tanong. It should have, I don't know, this question should have been moved to the later part of this test, but who cares? Dapat alam nyo pa rin that artemisonins, artesunate, artemether are first line pa nga eh, diba? According to the WHO, when it comes to malaria. Tapos dapat ito, you already know some classic drugs like amoebiasis. What do we got? Something like metronidazole, right? Yeah. Or yeast infection. Yeast is fungus, so antifungals like the azoles. Or cancer, there's a lot of drugs for cancer. Okay. 45, which class of NSAIDs is this drug? So we have here a structure.
Propanoic.
And this one is actually potentially confusing. Kasi, di ba, you have a COOH, yet you need to count your chain properly. When you count a parent chain, so ito, sometimes it boils down to basic IUPAC rules, no? Remember, class, when you count the parent chain, you need to stop at somewhere, okay, and stop at the last carbon of that chain. So when you count this, 1, 2, tapos ka na. You don't anymore include and this kasi part na to ng ring, diba? That's a different section already. So that's 2 carbons. Acetic yan. Okay? So the answer is acetic acid. I think you can answer, I think I heard may naka-unmute kanina. Pwede mong isagot dito propionic and you were a victim of not counting properly. Dapat di na to kasama. And I think that's a totally fine mistake kasi marami naman nagkakamali. But my point is, hanggang kailan kayo magkakamali ng ganon? Okay? I think rookie mistake na yan. And there's gotta be a point in your review that you should not already do those rookie mistakes. So you only count 1, 2, acetic. Actually, I can even go as far as like assuming I don't know di ko kaya hulaan. I don't know what what acetic acid derivative this is, no. Marami yan eh. Kasi mga ACK yan, ketorolac, diclofenac or indomethacin, but actually don't know what this is. And that's fine, di ba? It's not the main goal of this subject. Okay? Itong 46, I'm quite confident. Kasi, first, the COOH, 1, 2, and this time, kasama na sa parent chain mo is this one, di ba? This counts as a continuous chain of carbons. This time, yan na yung 3, so that would be the prop. And this one, I am confident we named this in class. That 2 benzenes is naphthalene, so this got to be naproxen. Okay? Na naphthalene, tas propionic, napro. Okay? So, something like that. 46. The difference, ooh, perfect. I have left it here. Unintentionally, I would add. Pero, di ko na to didiscuss ha. It's already written literally here. Dihydropyridines have no cardiac effect, but the fact na anti-arrhythmic itong dalawa, the non-dihydropyridines have cardiac effect. So, it's a matter of grammar. The difference of DHP from non-DHP is the former. O class, basic English language. Ano yung former? The first one, diba? Yung nauunang salita. Kasi ito is the latter. So, anong meron? The former, the DHPs, have no effect on the heart. I can already guess. Bakit mo sasagutin yung B? You know the concept, but you answered wrong. Kasi you have a problem with grammar. Di mo alam ibig sabihin ng former ay yung first word. If the question was, the difference of blah 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 is the latter has, edi now you are saying that the non-dihydropyridines has effect on the heart. So, that's part of the reality, diba? Pwedeng master na master mo yung concept. You know the fine details, specific, non-specific. But the question is written in a certain format that you don't understand what the sentence actually meant. So be careful there also. Okay? 47. This diuretic. Nasa next page. I see furan. That's over. That's a loop diuretic. That is one of the most popular diuretics of all time. Furosemide. Add to that the fact that it's mide kasi it's a sulfonamide, diba? Yeah. Kaya nga, I think it's sometimes noted that many of the diuretics are risky for people who are allergic to sulfonamide antibiotics. Kasi nga, they have the sulfonamide structure also. So, ayun. Yung hydrochlorothiazide, you can find it in our slides. Hiwala yan. That's a different structure, right? Where is that? Okay. Naliligaw na ako. Ay, kanina pa pala yan. So, where's the sulfonamide? Where's the thiazide? Diba? Thiazide is a 6,6 bicyclo. Tapos yung furosemide, as in, I literally copied the same exact structure. Yung mannitol is just an alcohol. Tapos, yung spironolactone is the steroid-looking thing right here, right? Yan yung spironolactone. Yung metformin is, actually dito, I don't think there's a lot of things we need to elaborate. Basta dapat, if you go to our endocrine, you would know there, nasa na? Yan. That metformin, okay, is a biguanide. Okay? Yeah. Tas, diba, tas ito, we can connect the dots. Dapat kaya nyo siyang imaginein kasi, again, who knows if I will ask the word or the structure. So what if I put the structure of metformin? Can you imagine what it would look like? If guanidine or guanide earlier, saan na yun? If guanide or guanidine is this one, edi ano yung biguanide? Edi dapat parang ganang, you have two of those, right? So, a biguanide will look something like one of this, but I add another one, like so. Oh, and by the way, here's a little interesting thing. Dahil, dahil minsan conjugation matters, you can put the double bond there, parang alternating siya. Anyway, I don't think that's the most important thing. So, whether ganyan or ganyan, that's the biguanide. So, pag may nakita kang 5 nitrogen, diba? Bingo na yun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bingo, that's metformin. Ganun na yan. Okay? And I'm saying that because I think I saw this structure of metformin sa isang PACOP questionnaire. But I'm like, N. PAC. That's already metformin. It couldn't be anything else. Okay? 49. Below is the structure of thyroxine. Kaya class, sige nga, a little bit of biochem. Okay, actually, I don't know, pharmacology ba to, physiology, biochem, it's somewhere in the middle of those. Please give me class the abbreviation of thyroxine when you studied this in your endocrine topics. T4, diba? And class, I think I said this already to you. The 4 in T4 and the 3 in T3 refer to the number of iodines. So if you look closely at the structure of thyroxine, it's T4 exactly because it got 1, 2, 3, 4 iodines. Right? And to my knowledge, and I'm looking at my wall right now. Oh, and by the way, malapit na tayong matapos because I'm already at 49. Just to share with you a little bit, I'm recording in my room, and I wanted to be a serious, okay? I want to be a serious medicinal chemist. That is why, pakita ko lang sandali. Yung aking pader, no? My wall is literally structures. Yan. So, hindi nyo nakikita yung, I think, medyo blurry siya. But everything that you're seeing right now, yan, mga structure ng gamot yan. So, when I say I'm looking at my wall right now, naghahanap ako ng structure na merong 4 na iodine other than thyroxine. Yeah, I think wala. I couldn't find one. So, definitely class, no? Once you see a structure with 4 iodines, okay, unless talagang very weird yon, that's gotta be thyroxine. Anyway, what is a good name for a product after deiodination? Eh, di ba, de-iodine, you removed an iodine. So, T4 minus 1 magiging T3. But you need to put that into words. T3. What does that mean? You have 3 iodines. Eh, di put that into a prefix. 3 iodines, triiodo. So, the answer is triiodothyronine, which, come on, you should know, is our T3. Diba? And again, my point here is, ayoko kasi yung feeling na parang kunwari ikaw ay isang pharma student or any healthcare student for that matter. I don't know, kahit medtech ka, radtech ka, nursing, PTOT. These chemical terms, these reactions, diba, are not supposed to be things that you avoid because you feel like you don't understand them. Yun din yung point na nagbabiochem tayo, diba? Mag-aaral ka ng glycolysis and you're just forcing your way through by memorizing. I don't think that will help you remember that for a long period of time. You need something that's more persevering. Yung mas malapit sa puso. And if you really just understood the meaning of the words more, then that would probably be better for you in the long run. Okay? Anyway, speaking of better for you in the long run, again, we go back to our rings. If you know what this ring is, it's literally a giveaway. Eh, di ba, dinrawing ko yan kanina? What is a 6-membered ring with 2 nitrogens on the opposite sides? That is our pyrazine. And that alone, di ba, that pyrazine is already in the choices. Add to that the fact that if I add this group, CONH2, di ba amide yan? Eh di, all the more you should be confident that this is pyrazinamide. How convenient. But again, let me remind you that this one could have been worse. I could have totally just put the structure and I ask you something else. Pwede nga instead of asking you what's the name of this drug, I could even ask you what could be the potential mechanism of action or kunwari adverse effect, di ba? Na hopefully you've studied in your other subjects. So, yun yung mga worst case. So this is not even the worst case scenario. There could be even harder questions. And I want you to, again, think that it's a possibility. Okay? kunwari sadista yung talagang gumawa na exam, if I really want to torture you and I have no intention of passing anyone in that test, I could make this way more difficult for everybody, but we don't have to, okay, at this point. The main target of sulfonamides, ayan, that's why I reserved this question earlier. I already told you earlier that many sulfonamides are antibiotics, but how about their target? Let me just confirm that I actually put the mechanism in our lecture. Minsan talaga nakakalimutan ko yung edits ko because there's a lot of things we talked about. Oh, it is here. So, nakalagay naman dito, di ba? Sulfonamides block the enzyme called dihydroteroate synthase. Letter boy. Be careful sa A ha. Yung letter A is the target of trimethoprim. Okay? Which is close. It's also under the antifolates, but it's just a different enzyme. Okay? So kung ito is trimethoprim, I might as well include the other words. Okay? DNA polymerase is the target of the clovirs, mga herpes drugs, aciclovir, ganciclovir, valganciclovir, whatever clovir. Topoisomerase, maraming topoisomerase blockers. So for example, kung cancer ang usapan, we have the toposides, okay? Etoposide, actually mga poside, etoposide, teniposide. Tapos yung mga tecan, irinotecan, topotecan, di ba? Topoisomerase inhibitor din ang quinolones, di ba? Yung mga floxacin, although antibiotic naman yan. I mean, antimicrobials, right? I just said what a camptothecin is. Camptothecins are the tecans, like irinotecan. Okay? So, ito, again, CND are topoisomerase inhibitors. Vinblastine is an antimitotic. Yun yung word na ginagamit natin. In class, it's not like I'm writing or I'm saying this randomly, diba? It's supposedly found in our slides. Just to double check, did I really put that? Yun no, diba? The vincas, the vins, and the taxals are antitubulins or anti-mitotic. So siguro hindi ko lang nalagay, pero remember, tubulin is a requirement for mitosis. So if the tubulins don't work, mitosis does not continue. Okay? Methotrexate is an antifolate. Actually, ang target din ng methotrexate is the same as an anti-cancer drug. Is the same target of trimethoprim, which is DHFR. Ewan ko lang if you caught that. Actually, hindi nga siya nakalagay dito, but maybe I can put that here while we are in the classroom, or I mean, while we are in the live discussion. So, di ba kanina, I said trimethoprim targets DHFR, dihydrofolate reductase. Kasama na rin dyan ang ating methotrexate. Okay? Derivatives of benzene sulfonylurea. Okay? Benzyl sulfonylurea. O, edi ano yan? Yan yung ating mga gliides, di ba? Glipizide, glimepiride, glibenclamide, and those are anti-diabetic drugs. They are oral hypoglycemic. Tapos dapat you have already this in your imagination, di ba? What do you even mean? Or what does that look like? Who knows, again, if it's the structure which will come out. Sulfonyl is SO2, urea is NON. Sulfonyl urea. Okay? Next. Polyenes are useful as, isa pa tong very straightforward question, diba? Di isa siyang antifungal. Kasi, what are the two popular polyenes? We can go here. Nystatin and amphotericin. Right? How about this? So, remember, we got a lot of antimicrobials and I just cannot put everything in a 60-item quiz. Okay, which I think is okay na rin kasi baka mamaya ma-overload kayo masyado ng pictures if I went more than 60. But for this one, come on. I have put here definitely a penicillin, right? Yun nga lang, we have penicillins in all of the choices. I would say this is one of the items that you need to go a little more than that. Anong silin siya? And you look at everything here on the left-hand part of the structure. And kailangan na spot mo to. You should have spotted that. And what is that? That, my friends, is urea. And class, the uridopenicillins include, and I think this is one of my faults, no? I didn't put the list here, but I think that's why we have the quiz, so I now can write them. Class, if you have the urea or the uridopenicillins, ang expectation ko naman dito is dapat in your other subjects you have encountered this, but we have MAP. Meslocillin, azlocillin, and piperacillin. So, one of the uridopens is piperacillin. Letter, dog. Okay? Ba't kaya piperacillin? Hindi, sorry. I'm just looking at the structure. But piperacillin? Okay. Yan Ano ba yan? Piperazine. Right? So, that's... Actually, pwede ngang hindi mo alam na uridopenicillin. Ito lang feeling ko. If your eye is sharp enough or if you have mastered your rings enough, instead of looking at the urea dito, you probably didn't even use the urea. Baka ang ginamit ng iba, I hope some of you had this correct answer, ay piperazine, edi piperacillin. It works the same, di ba? Pareho pa rin namang tama sagot mo. Okay? So, yun. So, do not underestimate the power of rings, right? Isa pa, I remember telling you this. Why should you also remember your rings? Why should you know your indole? Not just because there's indole in indomethacin, right? Or indole in other drugs, but because there's indole in serotonin. There's indole in tryptophan, and you can be totally asked that in your biochem. Or for example, why imidazole? Okay, true. There may be imidazole in antifungals, like for example, yan, di ba? Yung clotrimazole or fluconazole, those are antifungals. But also, yung imidazole can also be found in, let's say, histamine, right? In your biochem. So, you have all the reasons in the world to memorize the rings. Because they will help you in one way or not. Mapapicture, lumabas sa question, or even in words, you never know when the rings can be of service to you. Okay? 56, methylated erythromycin. Ito hindi ko sure. Did I put it in the notes? Pero I normally say that. Pero class, di ba, erythromycin, that's a macrolide. So they are the ones that, ito yung favorite ng marami, di ba? Yung mukhang ano daw, right? Yan. But class, okay, methylated erythromycin is Clarith. This is a very classic pack-up question. And remember, kapag eryth and Clarith, it's a 14-membered ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Tapos yung azithromycin, the only extra atom is N, so that's a 15-membered ring. But in any case, di ba, yung mga mukhang, yan, they are the macrolides. 57, which class of antibiotics have optimal cell wall penetration with the fluorine at carbon 6 of its ring? So ito, di ba, it sounds oddly specific and it feels difficult if you think, ano ba yan? Kailangan ba alam namin? Akala ko ba dapat di namin kailangan aralin yung specifics? But class, actually, there's a context behind that, as I usually do. Okay? Eh, di ba, ano ba mga klase ng gamot dito yung usually kailangan lang ng fluorine? To the point that sometimes you don't even just call them like that. You add fluoro at the start of their name. Fluoroquinolones. So that's just what I'm asking. The answer is letter A. Nandun, no? So, if I have here a 6-fluoro, di ba? 6-fluoro, I have improved cell wall penetration. But class, that is because kung in the first place, na-realize mo, di ba, that the suffix of the quinolones is floxacin, eh di talaga may fluorine majority. Ciprofloxacin, moxifloxacin, lomifloxacin, whatever floxacin. Okay? The only The only exception na hindi fluoxacin yung ending is the prototype ng quinolones. Kasi before all of those fluoxacins, we used to have something called nalidixic acid. Pero after nalidixic acid, everyone started having fluorine. So, yung mga anak ni nalidixic, everything after that guy ended with fluoxacin na. Okay? 58. You might think it's another penicillin. Uy, bahay na may garahe, diba? I have here a 4-5 bicyclosystem. But no. If it was a penicillin, dapat yung sulfur niya ay nandito sa taas. But what did I tell you before? If you have something na mukhang bahay na may garahe, pero hindi siya sulfur, hindi yan penicillin. If it's replaced by a carbon, that's a carbapenem. You are looking at a penem. So the answer is letter C. Paano naman kapag 4-6 na? Then that is a cephem or a cephalosporin. What if it's just a single box? But if it's just a beta-lactam on its own? The monobactam. And the only one that is a monobactam, again, is Astreonam, right? 59. If you are listening earlier, you would know the answer to this question. The main target of herpes drugs is, as I said earlier, like Clovier's, DNA polymerase. So that would be letter C. And also 60, if you are listening earlier, you would know that from me. Which of the following is an antifolate? That would be the fact class that it targets dihydrofolate reductase. Saan na yung slide na yun? I keep skipping it. Why am I being lost? Ayan. Sorry, natagalan ako. Pero 'di ba? Folate, di anti-folate ang methotrexate. Tapos 'di ba, I followed up by saying, come on guys, look at the structure of methotrexate and folic acid. Kung hindi pa yan magkamukha, I don't know na, 'di ba? Di ko na alam sa inyo. Okay? Vinblastine again and the taxanes like paclitaxel are antimitotics, and the two things right here are topoisomerase inhibitors. No topoisomerase, DNA will break. Anyway, as you notice, I hope you realize that I tried my best also to cover all of the sections we had here para naman fair sa inaral nyo. Pero I am aware that there are still items that I didn't include because there are just too many, diba? Hindi ko na natanong kung ano yung 4 or 8 aminoquinoline. I can totally ask that. I haven't finalized the exam yet, no, sa inyo. But I can ask that. Or kunwari, I asked the word artemisinin but I didn't put the structure. I can totally add that, yung parang eyeglasses, diba, na structure. Or for example, yung amantadine, which looks like a sombrero, diba? It looks like a baseball cap. I mean, it could really, diba? Baka wag na to kasi unfair naman. I don't want to ask very large structures like paclitaxel. I think it's unfair. Okay? Pero 'di ba, hindi ko nga kayo tinanong ng sources kasi feeling ko pang pikog na 'yon. But who knows, right? I can totally ask you since I've been mentioning vinca alkaloids. I can ask Catharanthus in the exam, right? Yung penicillin, nagtanong naman ako. Instead of the biguana, it's malay nyo, in the exam, I can now ask the thiazolidinediones or the glitazones, and so on and so forth. But I'm just telling that, ang pagkukuhanan ko lang naman ng tanong, diba? For the sake of fairness, because I know graded to sa inyong lahat, and I don't want to be that outsider na dadalaw na nga lang ako sa inyo, papahirapan ko pa kayo, or ako pa yung magpapabagsak, right? I can guarantee you that all of the questions I will be getting are somewhat directly lifted or conceptually related to our lecture slides. As I did in your biochem. I hope you agree with that. Okay? Sa biochem, it's usually in the handouts or notes lecture naman. Okay, and I plan to continue doing that style until Wednesday. I want to give 1 minute for any possible questions or clarifications with our quiz right here. Doble ba ang 46? Oo nga, no? Pag ganyan, ano bang ginawa nyo? Wala akong na-receive actually na note about that. So, di ako nakapag Pero pag ganyan, what normally happens is yung first 46 yung kino-consider. So, mangyayari dyan, ito yung mawawala. Pero I don't know what happened sa questionnaire ninyo, no? If in-adjust na lang or what. Maybe you can communicate with... Di rin nabanggit sa akin ni ma'am or ni Dean, no? So, yeah. So, either niretain nyo to na dalawang 46 or kung isa lang talaga, you just consider the first one. But I don't know what they will be following. So, you can just probably ask them. Okay. Kailan malaman yung scores? I don't know. Hindi ako yung nag-check eh, diba? So, I think sila nag-check nun. You can probably ask that from them. Yeah. Ano pa? Any more follow-up? Going once? Going twice. So, kung wala, I'll already stop the recording.
Recording
So,
stopped.
just to clarify, yung exam ninyo on Wednesday is going to be similar to everything that we encountered. Everything is multiple choice or matching type. It is a 100 item, it's going to be a 100 item exam, tapos 60-40. 60 biochem, 40 medchem. Okay. And expect na yung distribution is pretty much everything. Okay?